So back now to step 3 of the ICLEI 5 milestones, and that is to establish a local action plan or a local climate action plan. The result of that effort was on display here in the county office building last month under the title, Carbon, Our Energy Future and You. This workshop was presented by the city, county, and UVA. It was advertised as the result of over 18 months, a year and a half, of efforts by more than 70 local participants. And what did the taxpayer get for all this effort and expenditures? Well, the language meisters, as I call them, have been at work. They dropped references to global warming and climate change, which I've shown you already was the initial reason given for action, in favor of the new language of saving you money and new business opportunities. New language. 5 areas were identified: the built environment, mobility, energy sourcing, materials, and landscape. For if you did not realize, for you who did not realize, perhaps, that setting your thermostat higher or lower would affect your utility bill, these folks were there to let you know. If you turned it up, you paid more. If you turned it down, it would save you money. All right. Anyway, this all sounds innocent enough. However, the official press release for the event contains specific language of a different sort. In it, there now appear the terms environmental stewardship. And this is, once again, this is the official press release. These are not my words. The terms appear: environmental stewardship, community vitality, sustainability assessments, social equity, energy self-sufficiency, and natural systems improvements. The concept, quote unquote, of need to act is also introduced and indicates a shift from voluntary action to mandated action. The official press release notes, and I'm quoting here, the significant reductions being pursued cannot be achieved simply by switching individual light bulbs. Tens of thousands of structures will need to be made more efficient. Hundreds of thousands of miles traveled will need to be done with less energy intensity. Tons of megawatts of energy. I admit I've been out of many years of engineering training, but I didn't know that megawatts of energy were measured by the ton. But anyway, this is the official release. Tons of megawatts of energy will need to be obtained from cleaner sources. The preservation and management of our forests will need to be conducted. This is the beginning of the replacement of the carrot of cost saving with a stick of government mandates and needs to be. If you do not see the light and voluntarily do your part in reducing your allotted environmental impact, then the government will nudge you. You can remember the Boy Scout determined to do good, even if it means dragging the reluctant pedestrian across the street. These folks mean nothing but well for you. I attended this workshop and commented on it elsewhere, but I wish to alert you to the claims of community support, because I think it's going to set the pattern for what comes in the future. About 93 people attended an interactive survey in which a set of pre-programmed questions was shown on the screen and then voted on electronically with little individual vote tabulators. I would like to know the makeup of this audience. Many were wearing name tags identifying themselves as participants in the work leading up to this community event. So if the 70+ people and the steering committee members involved in crafting this event were in the audience, then the community event and its votes of support amounted to the advocates voting in favor of their own agendas. Their activist community is not necessarily the general community. When I spoke by allotted 3 minutes and a bit more on March 2nd, right here, to the Board of Supervisors, I presented each member of a copy of the publication, Observe Climate Change and the Negligible Global Effect of Greenhouse Gas Emission Limits in the State of Virginia. This 34-page scientific report from the Virginia-based Science and Public Policy Institute is available online. The policies of ICLEI, as embodied in the policies of the county, focus on emissions reductions based on concerns with climate change impacts. In brief, as the title of this paper indicates, Virginia greenhouse gas emissions have virtually no effect on the global climate if today Virginians were not only to reduce, but totally eliminate all sources of energy use. No cell phones, no computers, no TV, no cars, no nothing. Just go back to the Stone Age, all right? That's a pretty good reduction. We would achieve, according to this study, in 2050, that's the target date for the county, a global temperature reduction of about an unmeasurable and meaningless 0.002 of 1 degree Celsius, right? I mean, the temperature between here and there is probably 0.002 of a degree different. All right. There's a green police. All right, so that would be total energy deprivation on our part, while China's emissions replace ours in less than 2 months, another finding in this study. That's no deal. The refrain that the science is settled, or most scientists agree, is a frequently used ploy to avoid having to engage in scientific debate of climate issues. It is the county and city fallback position, I can tell you firsthand. But consensus proves nothing. Page 31 of the same report lists the fact that at least 800 Virginia scientists and over 30,000 U.S. scientists have signed a petition stating that the UN's human-caused global warming hypothesis is, quote, without scientific validity. A survey by the publication Scientific American last fall reported that 81% of the respondents consider the UN's IPCC, quote, a corrupt agency prone to groupthink with a political agenda. Sad to say, not one Board of Supervisor member thought my March 2nd presentation important enough or concerned to offer me a reply, comment, or question, either at that time or subsequently.